I cannot even begin to describe how frustrating it is to not be able to get off my phone or off my computer. It's insane. I really wanted to do a detox today and just not, I don't like the word detox. I really wanted to have the day where I wasn't on my phone or computer. I just felt like I needed to stop. And I did really well until 1 o'clock. And then I was fried. And my solution to being fried was to get on my computer and watch something. So I watched a movie, but then that movie then dragged me into Facebook because I'm on my computer, and the movie got boring. And then when it gets boring, I then start to look for other things to do, and I ended up on Facebook. And I watched these things of people talking about their dopamine detoxes and how great it is and how they go for a month without their phone. And they discover all these incredible things that they can now do, and they get through the boredom. And they get through the boredom, and they get through the frustration, and they get through all of it, and they come out the other side and they go, yay! I can't even get through a day. I'm not sure if that's an age thing, because most of the people that I see doing these digital detox, they're young. They are young. They're in their 20s or they're in their 30s. And it's different. And when I was in my 20s and my 30s, I could do that. I could put my phone away for a month and not even care. But it was a different situation back then. It was a different scenario. I had different emotional traumas. I had different experiences. I still had my mom, which makes a massive difference. I didn't have my beautiful daughter, which also makes a massive difference. And I didn't have all the dogs or the cats that I have now. And it was just a completely different situation. Oh, sorry for my yawning. Haven't yawned at all. And then I get on a video and I yawn like crazy. But what did come up was 2 stories, actually, that were really interesting because because one was from the past. 2 of them were from the past, and one was my brain just going off on a tangent in the future. But the past ones were memories to do with my uncle, actually, on my dad's side. When I was young, I was about my daughter's age. We went to New Zealand for a holiday, and my sister and my 2 cousins decided to lock me out of the house and refused to let me back in when my dad and my uncle went out. And they were out for hours. So I was left outside on my own at whatever age. I was about 7, I think, when I went. I was sitting there on my own until Dad and my uncle came back and let me back inside. I can't even tell you what, I can't even justify on what planet it was okay for them to lock me out of the house and leave me outside for hours. I don't even know. But then I had another memory come up where I'd emailed my uncle after my dad died asking for photos because I don't have any photos, and my stepmom, she blocked me and also my sister. So I have no idea what happened to any of the photos that she had. I'm assuming she threw them out because she got remarried. So I'm assuming that she's throwing the photos out, which is sad because I think I have one photo of my dad and I together when I was about 20, 21. I think I was 21. That's the only photo I have with my dad and I. Oh no, I've got another one. When I was about 28, just before he died, I think 28, 27, 28, something like that. But that's like, seriously, that's all I've got. I don't have any when he was younger as a boy. I don't have any that she took, and she took hundreds because she loved taking photos. She took hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of photos, and they're all gone. And as far as I know, not that I would know, but according to my mum, my sister didn't get them. So I don't know. I don't know where they are. And my uncle, through this process of, I don't know, I was asking him something. I think I said we were going to come over and say hi one day, and he said, oh no, that's not, let's not do that. And I questioned him about it, and because my sister is a horrible piece of work to me, I know that she had said things to him about me that aren't true, because it's her perspective and her opinion, which isn't always the truth. And I said something about it, that he had based his opinion of me on something that somebody else said without even knowing me. And he said, no, I can form my own opinion of you when we saw you. And the last time I saw him, I was in my 20s. Oh, no, early 30s. I was about 31. So anyway, it was well over 10 years ago when I messaged him. And I said that to him too. I said, well, hang on a minute. You're basing an opinion on someone that you saw over 10 years ago. Like, I'm not that person anymore. For starters, I was married to an asshole. And I'm now a mum, and things are completely different. But none of that, this is my family, none of that was relevant. He based his opinion on who I was 10 years ago when he saw me, and that was it. Longer than 10 years ago now. I think it'd be at least 13, 14 years, if not 15 years. Oh, excuse me. And that was it. And I look back at that, and I had this feeling of, what's the point when there are all these people in my life who have created this perspective about me, and they won't shift it, they won't change it. It doesn't matter who I become or who I am or what type of person I am, they will not change their opinion of me that they made many, 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 many years ago. If I look back at my sister, she made an opinion of me when I was 12. So it was 34, 30 something years ago. And she still has that same opinion. It's wrong, but she still has that same opinion. And so does everyone else in my family. And my mum, actually, 2 days before she died, I'd spent the week with her, and she actually said to me that I was not the person that she thought I was. And I remember looking at her and saying, yeah, I'm not the person that you thought I was. But you don't spend enough time with me to get to know me. You've only seen me this way. You haven't seen me in a different scenario. And so I look at this, trying to get off social media and trying to do this other stuff. And now I'm sitting here while I'm looking at it wondering, well, is it possible that part of the reason I'm having such a hard time with changing who I am and the way I am is because there are so many people that have this perspective that is anchored in the past. And I guess it depends on what you believe, but is it possible that if there are a lot of people that have anchored an opinion about you in the past, that the vibration of that opinion is so strong that you're pushing against something that's next to impossible to change? And that's kind of what I'm looking at the moment, because I remember someone saying something, and I can't remember who it was, but I remember someone saying something like, I can't even remember if it was someone or if it just popped into my brain, but it's basically, if you hold the same opinion of somebody, of something that they've done in the past against them, then you remove their opportunity to change in front of you, because you're holding them to that vibration. So they cannot be anything other than the vibration that you think they should be, unless you let that go and allow them to become whoever they are. So now I'm looking at it wondering, well, is it possible that with enough momentum that people can be held in place because of the volume of people that have a perspective of them? And I'm thinking that, I guess the way to undo that is to do whatever technique that you would do to allow those ties, I guess you could call them, to allow those ties to be released, broken, cut. My daughter's just rolling over. So now I want to do this. All right. So just in case you want to do it with me, I'll talk through the process of, it's basically tapping on the top of your head while you say, let's call it a mantra or a sentence, or you say a sentence, tap on the top of your head, then tap on your forehead just above your nose, then tap on your chest in line with your heart, and then tap on your belly just above your belly button, a couple of fingers above your belly button in that soft spot. So I'm going to repeat this 4 times for the 4 points. If you can hear lots of noises, it's because I've got a kid who's rolling around at the moment, and a cat who keeps jumping up and down off the bed. Okay, where am I going to start? Just give me a minute. Okay, so tapping on the top of your head. I'm willing to be willing to be willing to be willing to stop being who everybody thinks I should be in all my lifetimes. And then tap on your forehead. I'm willing to be willing to be willing to be willing to stop being who everybody thinks I should be in all my lifetimes. Tap on your chest. I am willing to be willing to be willing to be willing to stop being who everybody thinks I should be in all my lifetimes. And then on your stomach, I'm willing to be willing to be willing to be willing to stop being who everybody thinks I should be in all my lifetimes. Breathe in. And then out. And then take a minute to let that settle and to hear the next piece if there is one, which for me there is. Ooh, okay. So tapping on your head, I'm willing to, willing to, willing to, willing to stop being who everybody thinks I want to be in all my lifetimes. Tapping on your forehead, I'm willing to, willing to, willing to, willing to stop being who everybody thinks I want to be in all my lifetimes. And then tapping on your chest, I'm willing to, willing to, willing to, willing to stop being who everybody thinks I want to be in all my lifetimes. And then tapping on your stomach, I'm willing to, willing to, willing to, willing to stop being who everybody thinks I want to be in all my lifetimes. Breathe in. And out. And then wait. And basically just waiting to hear if there's another sentence. Okay, then we do it all again on the head. I'm willing to, willing to, willing to, willing to stop being who everybody thinks I could be in all my lifetimes. Forehead. I'm willing to, willing to, willing to, willing to stop being who everybody thinks I could be in all my lifetimes. Chest. I'm willing to, willing to, willing to, willing to stop being who everybody thinks I could be in all my lifetimes. Stomach. I'm willing to, willing to, willing to, willing to stop being who everybody thinks I could be in all my lifetimes. And again, I'm willing to, willing to, willing to, willing to allow myself to be who I believe I want to be in all my lifetimes. I'm willing to, willing to, willing to, willing to be who I believe I want to be in all my lifetimes. I'm willing to, willing to, willing to, willing to be who I believe I want to be in all my lifetimes. I'm willing to, willing to, willing to, willing to be who I believe I want to be in all my lifetimes. And again, remember each time I change, you're going to a different tapping point. I'm willing to, willing to, willing to, willing to be who I believe I could be in all my lifetimes. I'm willing to, willing to, willing to, willing to be who I believe I could be in all my lifetimes. I'm willing to, willing to, willing to, willing to be who I believe I could be in all my lifetimes. I'm willing to, willing to, willing to, willing to be who I believe I could be in all my lifetimes. That was a big one. Sometimes I can repeat them because I might need to anchor after the previous one. I'm willing to, willing to, willing to, willing to be whoever I believe I want to be in all my lifetimes. I'm willing to, willing to, willing to, willing to be whoever I believe I want to be in all my lifetimes. I'm willing to, willing to, willing to, willing to be whoever I believe I want to be in all my lifetimes. I'm willing to, willing to, willing to, willing to be whoever I believe I want to be in all my lifetimes. sometimes it can get really intense if I do it for a long time. Never used to. I used to sit and do it for hours, hours and hours and hours and hours every day when I first came up with this technique. But now I can only do it in very small bursts. Let's see if there's anything else that I need to clear. Okay. I'm willing to be whoever I believe I'm willing to be in all my lifetimes. I'm willing to be whoever I believe I'm willing to be in all my lifetimes. I'm willing to be whoever I believe I'm willing to be in all my lifetimes. I'm willing to be whoever I believe I'm willing to be in all my lifetimes. Okay, I think that's enough for tonight. If you didn't get them all, it's okay. You can always go back and do them again. Once you've done these ones, maybe see if there are some that you want to keep doing. You don't have to stop. You can keep doing. Like I said, I used to do this for hours. I have 4 or 5 hours every day, and then some, because I didn't just do it when I was sitting. I did it everywhere. So if there's some that you want to do and you want to share, that would be great. It helps all of us to see all the different layers as you go through this process. And let's see how that helps my dopamine addiction. Alright, I hope that video was okay. Yeah, I'll do another one soon.